Welcome to #Fundimali. Together with Westbank, we bring you financial literacy that creates financial freedom for you today. #Fundimali brings you knowledge that you can use to make informed financial decisions when buying your dream vehicle on credit. A credit application, the bank is going to look at your past 6 months, how you've managed your own finances. So before you actually approach the bank, you can actually do the inspection yourself. When you look at your credit report and you look at how you've paid your accounts over the past 6 months, it will give you an idea how you look. Before you go on a date, you go in the mirror, you check your makeup, you check how you're dressed. So it's a similar thing. You need to know your current financial status before you actually approach the bank. Your status looks at how you've managed your finances, exactly paying your installments over the past 6 months. The bank, when it does an application, obviously it wants to check how you've managed your finances over the past 6 months so that it has an idea how you're going to manage the relationship that you're going to have with them over the next 5 to 7 years. So the best thing to do is you first do the inspection yourself. You go online and you check how your accounts are being managed or how they reflect on credit bureau so that when you go to the bank, you know exactly how it is. But the best thing to do is first look at yourself so that when the bank actually looks at your report, you are comfortable with the information that they're going to see. Well, your credit profile is a unique to self report that shows how you've been paying your installments or your creditors over the past 6 months. It's basically unique, like I said to yourself. Mine is different to another person because this one shows how I myself have been managing payment of my creditors over the past 6 months. So it's important for you to check how your report is looking like. The most important information and the report that people talk about is what you call an ITC report, because that has all your information, how you've been paying your creditors, like I said, over the past 6 months. So that is the key report in terms of how your status is. No, they cannot. You know, the only person that has ability to change a credit report, remember, the credit report stays with credit institutions like TransUnion and Experian. So the only person that has an impact on that are your creditors, because every month they submit how you're paying your installments and they submit that information to the credit institutions who then take the information and put on your report. So when you pay, it shows as a tick. And those are the only people that can actually make any update. You find people being desperate, find a person says, I can take you off the credit bureau, I can do all this thing, give me 6,000 Rand. They're just robbing you because they're using your desperation against you. Remember, the updates are done every 45 to 30 days. So during that period, just pay your installments on time every month, and you will know that your information on your credit report is positive. Well, now we're getting to the really interesting part, because there are two information that people really don't want to see on their credit report. The first one is a default, and the second one is a judgment. A default is monthly. It basically says each month, are you paying your installments on time or not? Also, are you paying the amount that you're supposed to pay in your installment? So that reflects as a default. If you don't pay it, then it shows as a default. Now, a judgment whatsoever, it becomes a totally different thing, because that becomes actually even more critical, because a judgment is when your creditors go to court to declare you as a person who's not able to pay their installments on time, or they don't pay their installments at all. So once you find that you haven't paid your installment for 3 to 6 months, then your creditors go to court and they say, this person is not able to pay their installment, and please declare them as a person who deserves a judgment. Remember, a judgment stays on your credit report for up to 5 years. So the best thing to do is just pay your installments on time and you will avoid having a judgment. But in cases where you have paid whatever amount that you were owing and that reflected as a judgment, once you've paid it in full, you no longer have to go back to court. Because of the system and the updates, you pay it off and the system updates itself, then you are good. Well, credit score is like 3 numbers that basically show how good your finances are. Each number, like of the 3 numbers, up to about 999, it shows how you've managed your finances over the past period. Your credit score varies in terms of how you've managed your finances. The higher it is, the better you are. But now, we need to look at the range of the credit score, because it starts from 0 to 615, which is poor, 616 to 729, which is fair. There you sort of, I'm good, I'm getting there. Then you got 730 to 821, which is really good. Now you're paying your finances on time, everything is good. But now, above that, you're looking at 822 to 917, which is very good. This is a person who pays on time, probably even pays more than the installment that they were supposed to pay. And all their creditors are paid at exactly on time. Then you've got somebody who's like excellent, and that's a 918 to 999. 918 to 999, you are walking on water. You are basically paying everything that you're owing on time and beautifully, which will probably allow you to buy something like this, because the bank is saying this guy is good to go. Banks use your credit score to determine whether you're paying your creditors on time. It's a simple thing. Pay your installments on time and your credit score will be high. And another very important thing which people really don't understand, your credit score also reflects or determines the interest rate that you're going to have. The higher your credit score, the less risk you are. So the bank is likely going to give you a lower interest rate. So make it simple. Pay your installment again on time, and everything will be fine. Pay the right amount and pay installments on time. Avoid a default, avoid a judgment, and you are sorted.